Hey, what's going on, everybody? So big game for the Hurricanes today. A 38-3 win over the Miami RedHawks in the season opener. This is exactly what you wanted to see from the Hurricanes in the first game. After what happened last year, we weren't really sure. I wasn't really sure what we would see tonight, but both sides of the ball did well. There was a lot to like about today's game. What it means moving forward, we'll wait and see. Certainly a big game next week against Texas A&M. The Hurricanes players, the ones that talked afterwards, 6 of them talked about it. A few of them did talk about Texas A&M, and essentially they're looking forward to it. You know, Francisco Mauigoa didn't play against them last year, but he's excited. Cam Kitchen said he's already turned the page. I apologize for the noise. Hopefully it's not too loud, but as you can see behind me, it's raining. It didn't rain too much during the game. I'm glad it didn't affect it, and certainly before the game was delayed about 20 minutes, but it looked like it could be much more. So when the Hurricanes got out there, third play of the game, this is what stood out to me as one of the highlights, and this was great to see. To me, this could be a sign, an indicator of things to come when Colby Young took a short pass from Tyler Van Dyke and went 44 yards for a touchdown. Now, Colby is a guy that's more known for, the contested catches, a 6'4" guy that makes tough catches downfield. But this way, when he scored here, he ran right through the defense. And I thought that was maybe a sign of things to come, in the sense that he talked about in the offseason that he felt like he slimmed down, he felt like he lost some weight, and also he felt a little bit faster. And it's one thing to hear those kinds of things, but to see it on display in terms of a touchdown like this, maybe this is going to be a sign of things to come. I thought overall a good performance from Colby, 4 catches, 79 yards, and the touchdown. He was limited a little bit in the first half. I saw him riding the exercise bicycle a little bit, trying to loosen up. It looked like something was bothering him. And then at halftime, he was also running some routes, just to try to get loose and get ready. And he came out in the third quarter and had a nice 15-yard catch over the middle. So again, I think Colby's performance could be a sign of things to come, as he looks to be Miami's top receiver. He led the receivers last year, but had under 400 yards. Certainly this is a great start. This is his best performance since he had those 2 100-yard games. So really good start for Colby, and you got to be excited about that. Other things I noticed with the passing game, and Tyler Van Dyke, 17 of 22, 201 yards, a touchdown to Colby, and then the interception. And real quick, the interception was one of the few disappointing plays of today, that so many things went well. I felt like that he just made a bad read. Now, he did loft it, but I think he just didn't expect the defensive back, who he credited during his post-game press conference, for being able to make a play on that. And certainly the defensive back deserves credit for making that kind of play, where he got back there and made the catch downfield. But overall, Tyler did a good job in terms of short passes. They clearly wanted to get the ball out quick, and not just getting the ball to the receivers, just immediately after the snap, but also you saw some stuff where where he faked off the handoff, where he would fake the handoff to the running backs and then throw it to the receiver. And I find that to be a little bit more interesting, a little bit different than what we saw a year ago. But certainly Tyler getting the ball out to the receivers, whether it's Colby, whether it's the other guys, Jacoby George, Xavier Restrepo had a really nice catch also. So that was good to see from his standpoint. So again, so many positive things. We didn't really get to see the connection downfield on the deep passes like we expected. They took a few shots. Jacoby George drew a pass interference call. I touched on the interception that didn't go well for Van Dyke. There were a few other shots, but really they kept everything short. So that'll be something to monitor moving forward, because they have talked so much about how much they want to get the ball vertical. Tyler Harrell's a guy that could get vertical, the great speed. Didn't see him in the first half. Didn't know if there was a reason for that. It wouldn't surprise me if there was, but he did have a catch later in the second half, so that's a good sign. But certainly he didn't get an opportunity deep. So the passing game, solid. I think the completion percentage was good. And then also at the passing game, it's worth noting, Emory Williams was the number 2 quarterback, to go in for Van Dyke there in the fourth quarter. He completed all 3 of his passes, had a nice nice completion to Riley Williams for 18 yards on a 3rd and 8. So that was good to see from Emory, as he's the number 2 guy. When asked about it, Mario Cristobal just said, just for today, and essentially he played better. Didn't give a lot of explanation of why Emory was the number 2 guy, but certainly true freshman, beating out Jakari Brown, who made 2 starts last year. Didn't look great in the spring game, didn't have a great open scrimmage here at Hard Rock Stadium in August, but Emory did play well. So right now, Emory's the number 2 guy moving forward. Look, I know I've talked a lot about the passing game, but the running game was the one that you should be most excited about. 250 yards as a team. Great to see 3 different running backs reach the end zone. You know, I didn't make this note coming into it, but Miami had only 1 rushing touchdown in their last 8 games last year. It's really a truly remarkable stat if you think about it. Only 5 rushing touchdowns after that Bethune-Cookman game last year. So to go for 250, which is the most they had since that Bethune-Cookman game, is a really good sign. They want to run the ball. They've talked about the offensive line being better, and certainly we saw that on display today. And the 2 running backs, the new guys, Mark Fletcher, freshman, did well, gets in the end zone, 76 yards rushing, 9 carries. And then also A.J. Allen shows that burst that we saw at the open scrimmage. We saw it again today with some nice runs as well. So good to see from the running backs as a whole. Henry Parrish finished, in the 4th quarter, he gets a touchdown, 90 yards, leads the way, but 9 carries also. So just a really balanced attack with their top 3 guys. And then Don Chaney Jr. gets there in the 4th quarter. And with everything he's been through, and even though he is behind those 3 guys, it's simply put, that's just where he is right now. It was great to see him get that 20-yard touchdown run, and Henry Parrish talked about it in the postgame. Everybody was happy for Don. They know what he's been through in these last 2 years with the injuries. So great to see Don get in there, and I think this is good for Don. Whenever he gets opportunities, he just has to take advantage of it. So good for Don to get that 20-yard touchdown run in the 4th quarter. Again, Miami, a lot to like, especially offensively. Okay, so they cut the lights off. I'm going to try to wrap this up. I feel like I'm doing ghost stories right now with the light shining on me. But yeah, the stadium lights went off. I got to get out of here. But defensively, a lot to like in terms of I thought they were fast, they were aggressive to the ball, but most importantly, they did not make the RedHawks comfortable at all. The RedHawks looked very uncomfortable. They couldn't run the ball. Brett Gabbert had a few throws, but he didn't get the ball downfield in the passing game. So I think Miami just did a really good job in all phases of their defense of making things uncomfortable and not allowing much of anything. Under 200 yards of total offense for the RedHawks. That was great to see, kind of flipping it. Again, so many positives of what you want to see, and nearly 500 yards of total offense. But defensively, it was great to see Wesley Bassink come up with his first sack. He feels like it's a sign of things to come, and hopefully he has a lot more, is what he was saying. And certainly I've talked about how Wesley really wants to make big plays, and that was a great play. James Williams, I thought, moved around really well on the defense, kind of made things difficult. And Cam Kitchens, made a great tackle right there on the sideline. I thought he lined it up really well and went for a big hit and got it. So that was a good sign for him. And he said there just weren't a lot of opportunities, but felt like that was a good one to do. So again, Texas A&M is certainly a much more difficult task than what we saw tonight from the RedHawks. But you have to like what you saw tonight. And again, there's plenty of things they still can work on. They need to improve on. The penalty. I touched on the interception, but the offensive penalties, 6 of those. With the 4 false starts, the delay a game. Things like that. That they can clean up. They definitely want to clean that up. Tyler Van Dyke mentioned that they definitely have to clean that up moving forward. So again, plenty more coverage will be on InsideTheU.com. I'll have a play distribution. The snap count will be on the website for the VIP subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet to the website, definitely do that. A lot of recruiting news that comes with it as well. So thanks again for everybody for watching these videos, supporting the channel. Enjoy the win, and we'll see how things go for next week. Plenty of content coming. I'm really looking forward to really diving into some preview stuff when Miami faces Texas A&M. Stay tuned to the channel. Stay locked into the website. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you have a good rest of the weekend, and take care.